Good afternoon. Welcome back to our online mentorship program, courtesy of St. Joseph Catholic Ngong. My name is Mary Mumbi, Director of Mentor Me Facilitators, where we do motivational talks, mentorship programs, and team building activities. So today we want to talk about hygiene, personal hygiene, and also some etiquettes and mannerisms. Personal hygiene is very important because it helps to improve our self-esteem. When you know that you're observing the good personal hygiene, you're clean, you're presentable, you feel good about yourself. So that is why it is very, very important to observe personal hygiene. So starting with yourself, how do you observe personal hygiene? The first thing, it's about ensuring that you're clean. So we should not take for granted some of these things that are simple to do. It's so obvious. We all know that we're supposed to have a good shower or bath. We're supposed to ensure that we're taking care of our nails. We're supposed to ensure that we're cleaning our ears and all that. But we still find very many people who don't do this. It's always said that the simple things are the things that majority don't observe. So why should you observe personal hygiene? The first thing, it's because of yourself. It's good when you're clean, you feel good about yourself. And also because of the others whom you're going to relate with, whom you're interacting with. Imagine if you take a whole day without showering. Imagine if you take a day without brushing your teeth. What will your neighbor feel? So it is very important we observe personal hygiene. So the things that we must do every day, these are daily routines or other habits. You must take a shower and take a shower properly. Number 2, you must brush your teeth. There's nothing annoying like someone talking to you and they've not brushed their teeth. They have an awful smell coming out of their mouth. You're wondering, could there be a dustbin in there? And especially these people, for some reason, they want to talk to you when they are very close to you. So it is very, very important that you make sure that you're observing your dental hygiene. Very important. Otherwise, you're going to be making the environment unbearable for the people whom you're interacting with. And if you know that you have an issue with your dental, please visit a dentist. Go do something. Sometimes it could be a cavity, sometimes there could be some issues. But if it's the oral hygiene, ensure that every day you're brushing your teeth and you're doing it in the right way. There's also the issue of your ears. Some of you love putting your fingers in the ears and removing that sticky thing, and then you rub it on the tables, on other surfaces, which is very, very unhygienic. We need to observe some of those things, and people do some of these things when they are not conscious, or others, they're just used to them until they think it's okay. You find somebody doing that in public, and also poking the nose. You find somebody poking the nose in public and throwing all those things all over. You should have a handkerchief. If you really want to do it, you do it in private, not in public. So observe hygiene in those areas. Then go down to the other parts of the body. We have our feet, miguu, the legs. Please, 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 if you know that you're putting on socks on a daily basis and closed shoes. For our men, most of the time I know you have to put on socks together with closed shoes. That's the normal way of doing things. But if you find somebody who is putting on closed shoes without socks, it looks weird. The first thing that you need to pay attention to is the quality of the socks. It should be socks that can be able to absorb sweat. Our legs tend to sweat a lot. So you need to put on socks that can be able to absorb this sweat. And don't put socks today, tomorrow, and the other day. I have always heard men say mwanaume ni kunukisha socks. It is quite unhygienic to put on socks which are stinking. Sometimes you might go to a place and you're expected to remove your shoes. I don't know what you'll do when you remove your shoes and everyone is holding their nose because your socks are sticking. So ensure that you wash your socks, you put on clean socks, and also wipe your shoes properly. Also for the ladies, there are ladies who put on shoes and then when they remove them, sometimes their legs stink. You also need to observe a few things. It shows that probably when you're wiping your toes, you don't wipe in between the toes. It is very important to wipe in between the toes. And those nails, on the toes, they need to be trimmed. Some of you keep them too long and they are not well fined, and they might easily even tear the bed sheets. So ensure that you take good hygiene of those areas. Then we have some other very private areas that some people don't pay attention to. People say, yeah, everything, God created everything with the right intention, but there are some things that we need to also ask ourselves whether it is proper to keep them. So the armpits and the pubic hair, I don't understand, and especially for the ladies, I don't understand why you need to keep your armpits and the pubic hair too long. It will really hinder your cleanliness in those areas, and especially during your monthly periods. You need to trim the hair in those areas. Don't start saying, oh, God created everything with a purpose. Yes, it is true, but again, if keeping this hair will bring you issues, you better trim them. I'm not saying that you clear everything if you really feel that you need to keep some, but you need to trim them. Don't keep those hairs, and especially during your periods, it's not hygienic at all. Then the other aspect that I want us to look at in terms of hygiene, I want us to ask ourselves, how do we take care of our bodies to ensure that we are observing this hygiene? Because if you don't take enough water, however much you take your shower in the right way, you're still going to produce an awful smell. And especially when you sweat, your sweat will be stinking. Even if you use very expensive colognes, it won't really help so much. So ensure that you're taking a lot of water. Drinking water helps you also to live a healthy life. So drinking water will help you not to produce some sweat that is so stinky. Yes, you're going to sweat because it's normal for the body to sweat, but the sweat will not be as it will be when you're not taking water. It does not even stain your clothes. But if you realize that you're putting on clothes and then they stain a lot because of the sweat, then you have to check on your water intake routine. And also your urine, the color of your urine, it will also be determined by how you're taking this water. So ensure that you have you adopt a routine whereby you're taking a lot of water quite oftenly. Still on hygiene, there is one thing that we can never avoid: visiting the washrooms. When we visit the washrooms, there are people who visit the washrooms and they don't do things there in the right way. So I want to do a simple demonstration for our parents, our girls, those who are taking care of our children, to show them how they need to do this. So remember, and especially for the ladies, your parts are very sensitive, and if you don't observe hygiene, it's going to be a problem.